All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the St. Ignatius High School at the Falcon Invitational. It's 12:37 in the afternoon. I'm your host, Kalen Pelaya, and today we're going to be watching the junior St. Ignatius Falcons play the Fort Francis Muskies at St. Ignatius High School. Starting lineup for Ignatius, we have Jordan Mackey, number 23, Hugo Modi, number 4, Carter Harris, number 5, Jake Robertson, number 1, and Lloyd Carbo, number 30. The roster for the Fort Francis team remains unknown at this time, and I'd like to apologize to any viewers from Fort Francis who would like to hear their team players' names. Fort Francis wins the jump ball. .23 on Fort Francis, working the ball around. Travel call against Fort Francis early in the game, 20 seconds in. Lloyd Carbo receives the inbound from Jake Robertson. Dishes to Hugo Modi on the right side of the key. Turnover, St. Ignatius. Muskies pushing hard to the right side. Layup is missed. Travel call against the Muskies in the down low of the key. Lloyd Carbo pushing up the key court again for St. Ignatius. A lot of energy on the Fort Francis bench today. Tipped by Fort Francis. St. Ignatius remains in an offensive possession. 23 seconds left on the shot clock. Hugo Modi receives the ball back from Lloyd Carbo, who then gives it right back. Lloyd Carbo is not dribbling, almost stuck. Jordan Mackey gets it inbound to the key. Jake Robertson has the ball at the top. Dishes to Hugo Modi. No backcourt call. Francis must have hit it across. Shot clock violation for St. Ignatius.
What? It's just of Kalen.
Fort Francis takes a shot. No bucket. Ignatius gets a defensive board, pushing hard up the right side. Dish to Carter Harris on the left side. Pass up to Lloyd Carbo at the top. Back again to Carter. Shoots a three from the left corner. No shot. Mackey goes to the board. Fort Francis pushing hard up the middle of the court now. Fort Francis pulls from the three-point line. No bucket. Foul call against St. Ignatius. Number 24 on St. Ignatius. Number 4 on St. Ignatius, my bad. Hugo Modi. Jake Robertson gets a defensive board, pushing hard up the right side. Carter Harris coming up the left to support. Fort Francis pouring back on defense. Manages to steal the ball back and heading back on the offensive run now. Fort Francis makes a shot in the down low. Jordan Mackey is fighting for the rebound, manages to get it. Goes it up the court to Carter Harris. Finishes on the left side, no bucket. You have to film it like that. Foul call against Fort Francis. Ignatius has an offensive possession now. 5 minutes, 55 seconds left, and the game remains scoreless in the first quarter. Robertson gets a dish from Carter Harris. Goes to the strong finish in the key, but sadly no luck for St. Ignatius in the boards. Hugo Modi finishes, no bucket. Jordan Mackey gets the offensive rebound. Tries to finish, no basket. Lloyd Carbo struggling to get control of the situation on defense. Fort Francis working the ball around the top of the key. Drives to the baseline, pulls back out and penetrates in the middle instead. Tries to finish in the middle, no bucket. Blocked by St. Ignatius. Hugo Modi picks up the board, inbounds it to Carter Harris. Carter pushes up the middle of the court. Gives it back to Lloyd Carbo, who feeds it in Jake Robertson. Not seeing the pass. Jordan Mackey picks up the loose ball, but turns it over to Fort Francis, pushing hard up the right side. Foul call against Lloyd Carbo, number 20 on St. Ignatius. St. Ignatius calls a 30-second timeout.
Really good defense on the team.
Ignatius can't finish in the down low. Got a lot of offensive rebounds.
If I take a guess, I'm going to assume they're going to score first. The bucket.
We'll see.
Their defense still static.
It's okay.
It's up to par with us.
We usually come up get better.
And yesterday they did have a rough start anyway.
Fort Francis inbounds, 33 inbounds to 35. Again, I'd just like to apologize for not having any knowledge of any of the Fort Francis players' names. It was not included in our tournament pamphlet. Lloyd Cardwell pushing up the right side of the key, dishes to Hugo Modi. Lloyd Cardwell gets it back, takes a shot, no basket, short of the rim. Fort Francis pushing hard up the right side. Going to beat him to the basket and score a layup right off the bat. 4 minutes, 35 seconds. First basket of the game to Fort Francis. Harris inbounds to Cardbow. Dishes it to Modi in the right side. Over to Robertson. Penetrates baseline. Goes to finish on the left side and right side. No basket. Fort Francis defensive in rebound. Another foul call against St. Ignatius. Their third of the quarter. Fort Francis pushing up the middle of the court now. Ignatius' defense seems to be lacking. Fort Francis makes it a little lob in the middle. No bucket. Gets a defensive board. Jake Robertson gets a pass from Modi. Pushing hard up to this side. Euro step finish. No basket. Fort Francis defensive board. Pushing hard again. Pulls it up at the three-point line. Takes a shot. No bucket. Offensive rebound for Fort Francis. Mackey's struggling to get the O board. Ignatius gets possession after a jump ball. Harris inbounds to Cardwell. Cardwell passes to Modi, right side of the court. Tries to dish it into Harris. Fort Francis hits it, pushing hard up the left side of the court. Left-hand finish. Bucket is good. 4-0 Fort Francis. 3 minutes, 33 seconds left in the first quarter. Struggling to get the ball into the inside of the key, Ignatius. Carter Harris retrieves a loose ball. This is back to Cardwell at the top of the key. Swings it over inside to Jordan Mackey. Struggling to finish up in the middle. Out to Carter Harris. Jake Robertson jump shot at the baseline. Fort Francis gets a hand on it. Ignatius is inbounding. Jordan Mackey looking to get that inbound. Tips it out to Cargo, who remains out of bounds. Catches it there. Fort Francis gets an offensive possession. Ignatius' man defense seems to be unable to deal with Fort Francis' offense. Jordan Mackey manages to snag that defensive board. Ignatius needs to get their head in the game. Jordan Mackey tips it. Fort Francis remains an offensive possession, but also defensive play by Jordan Mackey. Fort Francis inbounds, working it down the baseline. Looks for the baseline finish, no basket. Jordan Mackey fires it up the court to Hugo Modi. Is he going to get it? He tries to save it by off of Fort Francis' own players. Does not go according to plan. Fort Francis gets another offensive possession. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first quarter, and they are up by 4. St. Ignatius remains scoreless. Fort Francis working it down the right side. Drive baseline. Dish it back out. 3-second violation called against Fort Francis. Turnover to St. Ignatius. Ignatius looking to kill some time. Lloyd Carbo drives hard baseline. Foul call against him on the shot. He's going to the foul line for 2. Ignatius appears to be lacking in intensity this opening quarter. Fort Francis managing to dominate them in the score department. Lloyd's first free throw does not fall. Second free throw, no good as well. Ignatius goes to the O board. Fort Francis manages to recover. Closer to the three-point line. No bucket for Fort Francis. Ignatius picks up the D board. Luke Carbo pushing up the middle of the court. 3 Fort Francis players trying to stop him. Manages to turn it over. Pull up again from the three-point line for Fort Francis. Luke Carbo struggling to get that ball. Jump ball call. Fort Francis stays in possession. 35 seconds on the shot clock. Travel call against Fort Francis, jumping while holding the ball. Harris inbounds to Carbo yet again. Fort Francis' zone defense appears to be too much for Ignatius to handle in this opening quarter, with no baskets scored whatsoever. Carter Harris goes for a finish, no layup. Foul call against Carter Harris, holding from behind. Fort Francis making another push. A minute 10 left in the first quarter. Scores 4-0 in favor of the Muskies. Jake Robinson with a big block on defense. Lloyd Carbo goes to save it. Dishes it into Fort Francis' own player. Hugo Modi foul on a shot and 1. Potential for a 3-point play for Fort Francis with 1 minute left in the first quarter. Fort Francis free throw falls with a 3-point play, bringing Fort Francis up to 7 points, while Ignatius remains at 0 with 1 minute left to go. Ignatius puts up a 3, not what they need right now. Lloyd Carbo intercepts the pass. Travel call against Lloyd Carbo. Fort Francis making a last push at Ignatius' defense. Hugo Modi intercepts. Lloyd Carbo manages to receive the pass. Another foul for Lloyd Carbo. He's going to the foul line yet again. Second foul against him this quarter. Lloyd Carbo remains at 0% from the free throw line. His first bucket manages to fall, however. Ignatius' first points of the game. 28.9 seconds left in the first quarter. Carbo's second shot falls as well, bringing Ignatius up to 2 points to Fort Francis' 7. Lloyd Carbo with another tip back into Fort Francis' defensive zone. Finishes with another layup. This time it falls. Ignatius up to 4 points now. 12 seconds left. 10 seconds. Over and back call on Fort Francis. 8 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Lloyd Carbo working it around. What's he going to do with 2 seconds left? 1 second. No finish. Jordan Mackey trying to put it back up, but buzzer goes before he can make a difference. Final score of the first quarter is 7-4 in favor of the Fort Francis Muskies. I thought that was like the phone keys going, but it was just a warm up. It's like, why is that so loud?
I don't even have it on. One thing you should have said to me.
Ignatius with no line changes at all going into the second quarter. Let's see what they can do against Fort Francis' zone offense, deep defense. Bringing the ball around. Ignatius working it inside. Jake Robertson manages to receive it. No finish for Jake Robertson. No points for Ignatius' star center this game so far.
They weren't shooting.
Inbound to Carter Harris at the left corner. Blake Carbo receives it at the top. Jordan Mackey is open in the key. Gets it in the elbow from Carbo. Goes to finish on the inside. Blocking call against Fort Francis. Jordan Mackey is going to the foul line for another 2 shots.
It was bad though. Like if he stayed slow and he got the pass at the to Rose, then he would have just been.
Mackey's first free throw of the game. First shot manages to fall, bringing Ignatius up to 2-point deficit against Fort Francis in this early stage of the second quarter. Second shot does not fall. Carter Harris with the offensive board. Pulls up for 3 from the left corner. No bucket for Carter Harris. Jake Robertson with an offensive rebound, working it inside. Looks to finish at the right block. No bucket. Fort Francis with a defensive board. Pushing up the left side of the court now. Struggling to get back on defense, St. Ignatius, but manages to snag the defensive board. Carter Harris. Fort Francis inbounding in Ignatius' zone now. Carbo snags it after Mackey tips it. Robertson gets in the short corner, takes a little jumper, no basket. Fort Francis working up the right side now. Mackey goes to block. Fort Francis fumbles on the layup. Foul call against Fort Francis. Ignatius is inbounding. 6 minutes, 40 seconds left to go. 2-point lead for Fort Francis at 7 to Ignatius' 5. Tiamodi receives a pass from Carbo, swings it to the right to Jake Robertson. Drives inside, dishes out to Tiamodi, shoots it. Hugo Modi, my bad, gets the board. Bucket is good for Jake Robertson, his first points of the game. Tying up the game at 7-7 here at the St. Ignatius Gym. Man defense not working for St. Ignatius. Penetration by Fort Francis, but blocked by Carter Harris on the layup. Fort Francis stays in an offensive possession this time. Inbound to the left corner. Mackey snags a defensive board, pushing up the left side, slowing it down with Lloyd Carbo. Dishes it to Hugo Modi. Over to Robertson. Back to Hugo. Over to Carbo. Fort Francis tips Hugo's pass over the head. Robertson and Hugo trapping number 25 on Fort Francis in the corner. Robertson snags the interception. Right hand finish to Robertson. Ignatius' first lead of the game. 5 minutes, 28 seconds left in the second quarter. Ignatius at 9, Fort Francis at 7. Wonderful defense play by Ignatius there. Great finish by Jake Robertson in the Fort Francis end. Timeout called by Fort Francis now. Full minute.
Not the junior.
Because you have. But right now, it's 5:22 right now. 5:28.
5:28. That score clock is bad. Fort Francis making a push after his timeout.
That's 5.
Struggle for the ball on the down low on the nation's defensive end. Fort Francis pulls it, snags a bucket, tying it up at 9. Carter Harris. Jake Robertson pulls for 3 from the right corner. Bucket is good. Ignatius at 12 points. And Fort Francis is 9 now after a stunning 3-pointer by Jake Robertson. Fort Francis has it at the elbow, drives to the baseline, dishes it back out to the top. Into number 55 on Fort Francis. Turn and shoot from the elbow. No bucket. Struggle with the defensive board. Carter Harris picks it up. Pushing up the right side of the court now. Back to Cargbo at the top. Robinson gets it in the right corner again. Out to Carter Harris. Over to Cargo. Out to Carter Harris on the right side of the three-point line. Shoots. No bucket. Jordan Mackey picking up the offensive board. No foul on the... Goes up again. Puts up the defensive board. Puts on the shot. And one for Jordan Mackey in the down low. He's going to the line for 1 fourth free throw and a potential for a 3-point play for St. Ignatius now.
Good job, Riley. Great. You're doing good, Kater.
I have fun. Jordan Mackey's shooting a free throw now. His second attempt. Bucket misses. But Ignatius is up 5 to Fort Francis now. Hugo Moni manages to get a steal against Fort Francis. Finishes on the baseline. Bucket is good for St. Ignatius. 16-9 in favor of the Falcons now over the Muskies. Lots of energy on the St. Ignatius bench now. Seemed after a flat beginning, St. Ignatius finally having some intensity in the game now to match Fort Francis. Fort Francis struggling to work it around in Ignatius' defense. Turn and shoot in the key, no bucket. Picks up the offensive board for Fort Francis. Tips up to number 23 to three-point line. Shot, no bucket. Another offensive board for Fort Francis. Their second of this possession. 30 seconds to go on the shot clock. Fort Francis goes to the pass, tips it out. Ignatius gets possession of the ball with 3 minutes and 2 seconds left in the second quarter. Yeah.
That's just great.
Hugo Modi pulls for 3. No bucket. Fort Francis picks up the defensive board. Hugo Modi blocks the pass. Manages to push up the right side. Lloyd Cargo trailing him. Foul on the layup for Hugo. Basket does not fall, but he is going to the foul line for 2 more free throws. Their 4th attempt at free throws for Ignatius this quarter. Ignatius has no team fouls. Fort Francis is 4.
Wait, what?
Oh, maybe it's only 3.
They're saving us.
Hugo Modi sinks his second shot. No substitutions for St. Ignatius yet. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second quarter. Jordan Mackey with a foul call for pushing on number 53 of Fort Francis. his second personal foul. Ignatius' first of the quarter.
Yeah. Now we're up.
Hugo Modi struggling to get the tip before Francis manages to recover. Has the ball in the right corner, St. Ignatius' defensive end. Look, Ignatius trapping in the corner before Francis manages to get it out. Tip on the basket, on the shot. Carter Harris snags the defensive board, pushes up the middle of the court. Swings it around to Jake Robertson in the right corner. Drives middle. Travel call against Jake Robertson on the finish. Lots of turnovers for St. Ignatius this quarter. It's not what they need. Hugo Modi manages to tip the pass, snags it off of Fort Francis' own foot. Ignatius gets an offensive possession with 2 minutes left to go in this first half. Lloyd Carbo drives middle, attempts to finish, blocking call against Fort Francis. Lloyd Carbo's at the free throw line for the third time this quarter. Or this game, rather. Lots of opportunities to score for St. Ignatius from the foul line this game. First shot does not fall for Carbo. Lloyd Carbo sinks his second shot, bringing Ignatius up to 18 points to Fort Francis' 9 with a minute 50 left to go in the second quarter. And defense seems to be working for Ignatius, getting a snag on Fort Francis, and to push up the left side now. Carter Harris almost trips up, manages to recover. Look, Ignatius swinging it around, feeds to Jordan Mackey in the left block. Foul on the shot, and one for Jordan Mackey, his second and one of the game. 20 points for St. Ignatius to Fort Francis' 9, who have not scored in the last 3 minutes of the game.
Up and down in his travel.
Better not help more.
Hey, I'm impartial. Jordan Mackey's at the foul line, shooting one free throw, potential for his 3-point play for St. Ignatius. Shot falls. Ignatius' 3-point play works out for them. Fort Francis has a minute 20 left. About 4 possessions left. Fort Francis penetrates middle. Manages to miss the layup. Fort Francis stays in an offensive possession with a minute 11 left in the second quarter. Lloyd Carbo pushes up the middle. Left to Carter Harris. Into Jordan Mackey in the down low. Off his own foot. Manages to recover. Travel call against Jordan Mackey in the key. Against 4 Fort Francis defenders who collapsed the zone right on top of him. 59 seconds left in the second quarter. Travel call against Fort Francis. Lots of fundamental mistakes being made by both teams in this game. Carter Harris penetrates middle. Back out to Carbo. Inside to the left elbow. Out to Jake Robertson. Back out to Lloyd Carbo. Over to Hugo Modi. Back over to Robertson. Pulls from the left corner. Bucket is good! 24 points for St. Ignatius, 29 seconds left in the second quarter. Fort Francis pushing up with 9 points. Looks for the small dish to the inside. Ignatius manages to snag the pass. Lloyd Carver going up the right side of the court. Ignatius waiting for the last shot. 10 seconds left. Jordan Mackey manages to snag the fumble. Carter Harris picks up left-hand layup. No bucket for St. Ignatius at the last couple seconds of the half. And that is halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming out to watch our live stream. We greatly appreciate it. And going into the second half, we find St. Ignatius up 15 points at 24 to Fort Francis's 9 at the Falcon Invitational second round games. Is this a semifinal game? Is this a semifinal game? We won.
We won.
Oh, so this is, yeah, this must be.
Yeah, I guess that is a semifinal.
Oh.
My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. This is a semi-final game between Fort Francis and the St. Ignatius Junior Varsity team. Great intensity from both sides of the court this game. About 4.5 minutes left of the halftime break. Come on.
Come on, Hunter.
I want your opinion on the game.
Get Luby up there.
Luby, want an interview?
That's what I said.
Nah. It's got to be one of them. If it's not them, it's not worth it. Sponsors.
I will say hi.
At this time, we'd like to give special thanks to all the sponsors that helped make the Falcon Invitational possible this year. All of them are local businesses in Thunder Bay. Walser and Associates Physiotherapists, Superior Smiles Dental Laboratory, Agostino's Deli and Bakery, Sport Up Sporting Goods, Blaze Basketball Association, Inner City Dental Center, Gillen's, Thunder Bay Multicultural Association, Marostica Motors, DriveWise Driver Education Center, Progressive Driving School, Santon Chiropractic, and the Thunder Bay Public Health Unit. Thanks to all of these sponsors for helping make this tournament possible this year. Your support is greatly appreciated. Special thanks also to all the volunteers that helped to contribute their time to this wonderful occasion. And also special thanks to the St. Ignatius staff and administration for helping to make this possible, especially Mr. McHale and the custodian staff for setting up the bleachers and recording equipment. Also special thanks to all the referees, as well as parents, guardians, and fans. Thank you, everybody. Your support is greatly appreciated for making basketball possible in this city. All right, I need to tweet now.
And then I have music, Mr. Cloud. The next semester, he was a substitute for a long time. This is his first full time. The next semester, I have Mr. Ready Miss Negro for 8 Then I have lunch again.
Let me see.
I'm on. And then I have English with Aquila. Yeah. I know. I know. All I wanted to hear was love me, so I did good marks. That's good. Maybe I'll just like sit down on the couch. Just like cut my hair and
Minute left to go before we start the second half of the Fort Francis St. Ignatius semifinal game at St. Ignatius High School. Up next after this game, we will have the St. Ignatius varsity team playing the Superior Collegiate Varsity Institute varsity team. That's slated to start at 1:50. We will be live streaming and providing live updates throughout the whole time. Follow our Twitter account at Iggy_basketball for further updates regarding any scores or player injuries, God forbid, they occur. Let's see if Ignatius can keep up the intensity in the second half of the game.
yeah, I know, but
Fort Francis' zone defense helped them again. We're ready to find out, ladies and gentlemen. And there's the buzzer. We are ready to rumble, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Ignatius gets the starting possession this time on offense. Jake Robertson, Jimmy from the baseline. Bucket is good. Fort Francis pushing up the right side. Penetrates to the middle. Pull from the three-point line. No bucket for Fort Francis. Air ball. Inbound to Carter Harris, bringing it up the left side. Into Jordan Mackey in the left corner. Out to Carter Harris again at the three-point line. Fumbles it. Manages to recover. Back out to Lloyd Cardbow. Back to Carter Harris in the left corner. Fort Francis tips. Cardbow and Modi on his tail, however, manages to stay in control of the ball. 30 seconds left on the shot clock for St. Ignatius. Back over to Cardbow. Over to Carter Harris. Back down to Jake Robertson. Over to Carter Harris yet again. Penetrates middle. Layup does not fall. Jordan Mackey for the O board. Fort Francis snags it. Lloyd Cardbow steals it back. Stays in control of the ball. Fort Francis snags the interception. Pushing up the left side. Block on the shot for Cardbow. Modi snags it from the air. Over to Carter Harris on the left side. Into Jordan Mackey in the left block. Dribble. Finish on the left side for Jordan Mackey. 28 points for St. Ignatius to Fort Francis' 9. 6 minutes and 26 seconds left in the third quarter. Jordan Mackey tips it. Fort Francis stays in control, however. No finish for Fort Francis. Snagging the offensive board. Jordan Mackey's not giving it an easy time. Neither is Modi. Lloyd Cardbow with a steal. Wide open layup for Lloyd Cardbow here. Right hand finish. 30 points for St. Ignatius. Fort Francis struggling to work it around the outside. Pulls from the three-point line. No bucket for Fort Francis. Hugo Modi snags it. Out to Cardbow. Push it up the right side. Robertson penetrates to the middle. Finish on the right side. Bucket is good for Jake Robertson. 32 points for St. Ignatius. St. Ignatius, after a rocky start this game, managing to swing ahead of Fort Francis with a solid 23-point lead. Another steal by Cardbow. Another right-hand finish for Cardbow, bringing it up to 34 points for St. Ignatius. Timeout, Fort Francis. Full minute timeout. This timeout is brought to you in part by Walser & Associates Physiotherapists. For all your physiotherapy needs, go to Walser & Associates Physiotherapy.
Because they're not off. They're on the bench. Then that's a full minute. But if the coach comes on to the court, that's only a
I'll do that next. I didn't try the information. No.
I tried.
But
It's gonna tilt me out. I'm just scared. I like watching my games. Sure. I can compensate if I want to.
Hunter, you should have come and seen the Revenant, man.
I had already touched it. At 10 points. We wish we could score 10 points.
We are back after the timeout. Fort Francis has an offensive possession with 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Foul call against number 24 on St. Ignatius, Tiro Skeed. who is in for Jordan Mackey after a quick sub during the timeout. St. Ignatius manages to tip the ball. Lloyd Carbo with a great steal. Wide open right-hand layup. Blocked by Fort Francis. Foul on the shot. Lloyd Carbo's headed to the foul line yet again in this game for 2 free throws. Just what? We got to 10 yesterday. I didn't see 11. Lloyd Carbo misses his first shot. It's because of me. Second shot meets its mark for Lloyd Carbo, bringing Ignatius up to 35 points. Fort Francis takes a shot from the left free throw line. No board. Batia Modi in the game now for number 4, Hugo Modi. I have the same last name. Yes. Fort Francis inbound, pushing up the middle of the court now. 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Penetrates to the middle for Fort Francis. No good. Into the key at the foul line. Drive middle yet again for Fort Francis. Pulls out. Back out to number 35. Back to the outside to 23 on Fort Francis. 33 receives. Back to 35. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. What can they do with it? No bucket for Fort Francis. Manages to sink the offensive board. Puts it back up. Fort Francis puts up their first points on the scoreboard for the last quarter and a half of play after a complete shutout by St. Ignatius since the beginning of the second quarter. Fort Francis with a steal against St. Ignatius. Number 23 fires it up the court. Right-hand finish. 4 points for Fort Francis in under 30 seconds of play. Left-hand finish for Batia Modi on the left side. 37 points for St. Ignatius. Fort Francis making a right-hand push up the court. Over to number 33. Penetrates to the middle. Pulls it back out. Dish to number 23. Over to 35. Swings it around to the right side. Penetrate middle. Right-hand finish. No layup is for Fort Francis today. Back out to number 23. Manages to save it from the out-of-bounds. Over to 35. Left-hand three-pointer. Shot is good. 37 points for St. Ignatius. 16 for Fort Francis. Managing to put up 7 points in the last 2 minutes of play. With 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Almost a steal for Fort Francis. St. Ignatius manages to stay in control. Penetrate middle by Carter Harris. Over to Jake Robertson in the short corner. Split long. Batia Modi gets the rebound. Off the backboard. No bucket for St. Ignatius. Fort Francis manages to snag the defensive board. Lloyd Carbo goes for this interception. Lands in the out-of-bounds. Turnover to Fort Francis. Jake Robertson and Carter Harris out for Hugo Modi and Jordan Mackey. Three-pointer for Fort Francis. Falls short of the rim. Back into Lloyd Carbo. 5-on-4 for St. Ignatius. Over to Hugo. Hugo Modi manages to save it to Fort Francis' team. Right-hand layup for Fort Francis. Bucket is good for Fort Francis. Slowly but steadily closing the gap. St. Ignatius has managed to wedge in between the two teams. Slow and steady will not win the race, St. Ignatius. Lloyd Carbo turnover to Fort Francis. Fort Francis finishes yet again. Great run by Fort Francis in the last 2.5 minutes of play. Managing to score 11 points and closing the gap to only 17 points. Suddenly Fort Francis is looking to be able to come back in this game. Timeout called by the St. Ignatius coaching staff. Special thanks to all 8 of our viewers today. We really appreciate it. We are back after the timeout. Lloyd Carbo taking it up with St. Ignatius after an inbound from number 13, Patia Modi. Hugo Modi manages to penetrate baseline after a quick pass. Back out to Lloyd Carbo. Over to Piro Skeed. Back over to Hugo. Skeed manages to pick it back up. Modi pulls up in the left corner. No bucket. Fort Francis making a strong push up the basket. Minute 4 left in the third quarter. Another 3-pointer for Fort Francis. Does not fall. Overboard for Fort Francis. Quick pass. Off the backboard. Lloyd Carbo snags it. Foul call against number 23 on Fort Francis. Second of the quarter. 52 seconds left to go. 17-point deficit for Fort Francis now. They'll be back. Fort Francis picks up an offensive possession with 37 seconds left. Ignatius playing tough defense in the last couple seconds of the quarter. Was that a 3 in the key? Was that 3 in the key? I couldn't tell what he called. Not sure what the call was there, but St. Ignatius does get an offensive possession with 25 seconds left. Lloyd Carbo fumbles with the ball. Manages to recover. Fort Francis with a steal. 15 seconds left. Another 2 points for Fort Francis. Bring up to 22-37. 10 seconds left for St. Ignatius. 9. Looking up to put another last shot. Lloyd Carbo dribbles it through 4 defensive players. St. Ignatius can't put up a buzzer beater. Fort Francis behind only 15 points. The closest they've been since the beginning of the second quarter. Ignatius seems to be falling apart on offense. Fort Francis' zone seems to be capitalizing on their slow offensive passes around the key. It's definitely a game that Fort Francis can win, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of time to go. I see they logged off to tell their friends about it.
Oh my goodness.
Did you log on Pappage to the Wi-Fi? You said she was going to come up and see you.
No.
Beginning of the fourth quarter, we have the score of 37-22 for St. Ignatius. Fort Francis beginning with the first offensive possession of the quarter. Quick bucket by Fort Francis, 10 seconds in, bringing up to 24 points to Ignatius 37. Over to Jake Robertson in the right corner, passed by Kevin By. Jordan Mackey finishes. No bucket. Offensive board. No foul on the shot. Fort Francis with a foot out of bounds with a hand on the ball. Ignatius stays in offensive possession. 35 seconds on the shot clock. Into number 12, Jackson Bennett. Ignatius seems to be putting their bench in. Robertson with a quick three-pointer from the left corner. Falls way short of the rim. Fort Francis push up the left side. Kevin By struggling to defend. Fort Francis working the ball around Ignatius' defense. Penetrate baseline. Layup, no bucket. Hero Ski snagging the defensive board. Jake Robinson pushing up the left side. Foul call against number 24, Hero Ski on St. Ignatius. Their first foul of the quarter. Carter Harris in for the offending player now. For Francis, left-handed layup, no finish. Foul on the shot. Forced Francis going to the foul line for the first time in several quarters now. Definitely a close game, ladies and gentlemen. Number 25 for Fort Francis shooting 2 foul shots. Left hand. First shot does not fall. Second shot hits the rim. Staggles right on in there. Fort Francis, that's 25 points. Only a 12-point losing deficit now for Fort Francis. Into Jordan Mackey from Jackson Bennett on the left side. Over to Carter Harris. Back up to Kevin By. Over to Bennett. Into Jordan Mackey again in the key. Over to Jake Robinson in the short corner. Drive baseline. Layup. Bucket is good. 39 points for St. Ignatius. Fort Francis working around the outside of the St. Ignatius three-point line. Into number 23, 5 on Fort Francis. Foul on the shot. Second time Fort Francis will be heading to the line this quarter within a span of 30 seconds of play. First foul shot falls for Fort Francis, bringing them to 26 points. 3 fouls for St. Ignatius this quarter so far. Second foul shot falls for Fort Francis. 27 points for the Muskies now. Over to Robertson from By. Back over to Bennett. Left corner, up to Jake Robertson, the left elbow. Jumper, no basket. Fort Francis snags the defensive board. Three-pointer for Fort Francis falls short of the rim. St. Ignatius gets an offensive possession after the ball has out of bounds on Fort Francis' baseline.
Did she say she was going to come and sing?
I don't know, she probably forgot. St. Ignatius working it up the court. Bennett passes to Harris. Into Mackey. Oh, back out to Robertson. Down in the down low to Mackey. 3-second violation in the key for St. Ignatius' center players. Fort Francis making another strong push. Seems they've gone a little flat. Defensive board, Ignatius manages to snag. Up the left side to Carter Harris. Over to Jackson Bennett, left-handed finish. Basket is good for Jackson Bennett. His first points of the game. 41 points for St. Ignatius to Fort Francis, 25. Jake Robertson with a steal. Pounded up the left side of the court. Push on the shot. Jake Robertson is heading to the foul line for 2 free throws. Did that go in?
No.
First shot does not go in for Jake Robertson. Second shot also bounces out of the rim. Foul call against St. Ignatius there. 4th of the quarter. Almost in bonus for Fort Francis. Fort Francis inbounds, pushing up the middle. St. Ignatius sticking to their guns with man defense. Fort Francis pulls up at the three-point line. No bucket for Fort Francis there. Number 21 trapped in the corner by Jake Robinson and Jordan Mackey. After a quick little out-of-bounds call there, Fort Francis stays in possession with 31 seconds left in the shot clock. 4 minutes, 22 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Baseline layup for Fort Francis. Foul on the shot. Basket does not fall. Number 35 for Fort Francis heading up the foul line now. Depends. First shot does not fall for Fort Francis. Second look, it does not fall as well. Fort Francis turns over the ball to St. Ignatius with an out-of-bounds call on the sideline. Over to Patia Modi from Lloyd Carbo. Ignatius has their starters back in the game for the last 4 minutes of play. Travel call against Jordan Mackey. Fort Francis needing another push up the middle. Number 35 working around the left side of St. Ignatius' three-point line. Into number 35 in the left elbow. Forcing Carter Harris back over to 21, back over to 35. Ball screen pick, not utilized by Fort Francis. Travel call against Fort Francis. Harris inbounds to Modi. Ignatius with a convincing 14-point lead with 3 minutes, 30 seconds left to play in this game. Carter Harris receives it in the left corner. Back out to Modi. Over back to Harris. Modi penetrates. Back out to Harris. Pulls from the three-point line. No bucket for Carter. Jake Robertson manages to snag the offensive board for number 33 on Fort Francis. Oh! Spit on the ball, wiggles it out of the rim. Fort Francis making a defensive board, pushing up the court. 3 minutes left to go in the semifinal game today.
Oh, they're good.
Shot for Fort Francis does not fall. Remain in possession with 34 seconds left on the shot clock. Excuse me.
We're at 7.
Game's almost over.
There it is.
Shot for number 35 on Fort Francis. Bounces out of the rim. St. Ignatius gets an offensive possession. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to play. Ben Melchiori
It's usually the play for the team that the team is playing.
and several other players whose names I am not familiar with for the starting lineup of St. Ignatius Junior Varsity team.
Because teams who are and like slapping them.
Tiro Skeet in the game again.
Like it's not having it's just
Into number 11 on St. Ignatius. Dives to the floor to retrieve the loose ball. Out to Tiro Skeet. Looking to pull. No shot taken. Ben Melchiori working around the outside. Out to Tiro Skeet. Pulls from the three-point line. Bucket ball for Tiro Skeet. His first bucket of the game. 44 points for St. Ignatius. Left-hand penetration by Fort Francis. Finishes on the left side. 29 points for the Muskies now. Into Patia Modi in the left corner.
one power dribble.
Great finish by Patia Modi. Ball bounces right out of the rim. Minute 30 left to go in the game. Baseline penetration, push on the shot. Fort Francis heading to the foul line. Number 23 for Port Francis managed to sink his first free throw. Second one does not fall. Tiamoti struggling for the rebound against Fort Francis. Some minor indignation over the referee's decision there from Fort Francis. Into Tiamoti. Pass up to Ben Melchiori. Fort Francis with an interception. Number 23 fires it up the court. Right hand layup. 2 points for Fort Francis. 12 points in between the two teams now. 14 points, my mistake. See, I told you. Number 25 fires up the left side of the court. Left hand finish. No bucket. Tiroski picking up the defensive board. 50 seconds left to go in the game. Timeout call for St. Ignatius. Michael Carpino and Cam Richardson making a quick substitution with 50 seconds left to play. No. Get through his fucking head. Get through his head. And short timeout break is over. 50.3 seconds left to go. St. Ignatius up 12 points to the Muskies at 32-44. Michael Carpino inbounds to Kyler Basaraba. Wait, no. Whatever. Fort Francis tips it out of bounds. St. Ignatius remains in an offensive possession. 28 seconds left on the shot clock. Into the right block. Snagged up by Michael Carpino, loose ball. Back over to Ben Melchiori. Back into Ignatius' center. No bucket. Struggling with the jump ball. Ignatius remains in possession after a shot clock reset back to 35 seconds. Only 32 seconds on the clock, however. Michael Carpino inbounds. Over to Ben Melchiori. Muskie's trying to foul to force a turnover. Ignatius inbounding from the sideline. Another foul call against the Muskies. Their third of the quarter. Game is looking like a pretty solid win for the Ignatius Falcons, who are most likely headed to the championship round in the Falcon Invitational this year.
If you're going to make a foul on the play, make sure you make contact with the ball. You can purposely foul if you don't want to foul if you don't have a shot. And it just gets reset back up.
10 seconds left to play. For Francis, looking for some more points. Foul on the shot for St. Ignatius. For Francis, heading to the foul line with 7.5 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Not what the Falcons need at all.
No, he's just 20 seconds ahead to make sure the time.
First free throw falls for Fort Francis. Although there is little they can do with such little time left to go in play. 100% from the free throw line that time for Fort Francis. Quick steal by Fort Francis, 2 seconds, 1. And that is all she wrote for this game, ladies and gentlemen. The semifinal game in the Falcon Invitational Junior Varsity Division goes to the St. Ignatius Falcons, trumping the Fort Francis Muskies 44-34. at the St. Ignatius Gym today. I've been your host, Caleb Platt. Thank you for tuning in. The next game today will be the St. Ignatius Varsity Falcons versus the Superior Griffins, and that is set to begin in about 10 minutes. We will be back to broadcast that live for you. Make sure to follow us on Twitter for any live updates you may have missed, and we will see you